Hello everyone. So today we have with us Mr. Abednego, who has recently joined Venus as a manager in International Business Department. So let's hear from him now. Hi, Mr. Abednego. Welcome to Venus Remedies.
Thank you so much, and thank you
Okay.
for the warm welcome.
Yeah. So let's begin with a quick introduction of yours. And
Yes.
Yes.
All right, my name is Abednego Najalale. Um, I come with over a decade of experience in the African markets, with a background in biomedical sciences and years of experience, as I mentioned, in the healthcare industry, both in the pharmaceutical industry as well as in the diagnostic sector. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for answering that. All right. So, since you have like 12 years of experience in the
Yes.
pharmaceutical industry, so could you please highlight some key achievements from your career?
Thank you for the question. Number one, I would say I come with strong team leadership skills. I've been able to lead and manage strong and competitive teams, fostering a culture of trust and accountability. And I would say, that's important in team dynamics, how teams are able to run and to be able to achieve strong success. I've also I would also say my second achievement is to do with market expansion. I've been able in my previous roles to carry out different products from the diagnostic world as well as from the pharmaceutical, and be able to expand into different markets across the continent of Africa. And this has also helped me to just understand the dynamics across different markets and how different markets operate, and to be able to achieve commercial success for the organization. Lastly, I would talk about regulatory approvals. That has also been an important aspect for me and a key achievement. A lot of our African markets are different, and I've been able to have to be able to register these products into different markets so that we can be able to commercialize and have a long-term business in each and every market. And again, African markets are diverse, so that has been a key strength for me, just to be able to work with the local authorities to deliver these approvals for the companies. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for answering that
Sure.
question.
Sure.
Okay, so let's jump on to the next question now. So, next question is like, what are the areas in business development and sales do you excel in? How does it align with Venus Remedies objectives?
All right. Thank you for that question as well. So sales is all about relationships, and one of the areas that I'm really good at is building strong customer relationships. And these could be relationships with the individual distributors, as we, of course, work with, but also relationships with the healthcare professionals,
Yeah.
relationships with the hospital administrators, because all these people are going to be instrumental in getting the products into the hands of the end user, which is the patient. And part of the reason why I joined the company is because the company has a strong quality and a strong innovator molecules, and we want these molecules to be in the hands of the patients. So I would say having these strong relationships for me is important, and I believe it will help to be able, in my current role, to be able to meet the needs of the customer and for long-term success. Again, we're not looking for short-term success, but long-term. I would also say I'm very key in customer-centric approaches. I would really want to listen, and I do listen a lot to the customers, first to understand what is it that they need before getting into further conversations. What makes, in a sense, their world tick, and how can we, as a manufacturer, as an innovator, a company, partner with these customers to have a long-term business solutions and to have a win-win strategy. So that's important for me, having a customer-centric approach where we listen first. And lastly, let me add that one of my key strengths as well, because I'm also a student of strategy and I really want to drive data-driven decision making, is on market analysis and strategy. So you see, data speaks, and one of my key strengths here is the fact that I can analyze trends using data and be able to have a good outcome of the data so that we can be as competitive, because we do have the quality already at Venus. So how can we translate this then into competitiveness in the market? So I would say, in summary, those are some of my key strengths that I bring on this role. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Abednego, for explaining this answer in such a simple manner.
Thank you.
Okay, so next question. So since you have been associated with the African market for 12 long years,
Sure.
so I believe there must be some challenges as well. So could you please tell our audience about those challenges?
All right. So it's an excellent question, and as you know, there are so many countries in Africa, and the African populace is also quite diverse. When we're looking at healthcare challenges, almost every country has those kinds of challenges where the products are needed, but they're not really there to meet the needs of these patients. There's ongoing issues to do with oncology, antimicrobial resistance across all these markets, and we want to have products there in the countries that are going to change the mindset and change the decisions on treatment for the population. So what I would say, one of the things is to do with regulatory requirements. We need to jump over so many hurdles usually to have the right products in each market. And the African markets are diverse. Each country has its own regulator. Whether you're talking about the Pharmacy and Poisons Board in Kenya, or the NDA in Uganda, or the NAFDAC in Nigeria, they are all diverse with their own requirements, and many of them will want, of course, different GMP approvals. So that would be a challenge, but I also feel like having this part of my previous experience, what we could also do is to leverage on the strategic partnerships and relationships with regulatory authorities to get these molecules into these markets. I would also add that there's a lot of these markets also face a lot of competition, both from the innovator molecules and also from other good quality companies from all over the world. So the market really needs a proper market survey and a proper market analysis, working closely with our customers who are distributors in this case, so that we can have the right kind of market intelligence. And this intelligence is important in winning not just the private market or the tender market, but also just winning the hearts and minds of people, because at the end of the day, we are a brand as Venus that is recognized for innovation. And we want to have these molecules into the hands of the patient. Our good combination is that we have good quality and we have a good price. So we are able to win in these markets. That's what I would say.
Oh, well, thank you for answering that. Okay, so how do you plan to expand Venus's business in the African market, and what sort of strategies will you apply?
All right, thank you. That's an excellent question as well. So I would say, what I'm thinking right now is a multifaceted approach, because expansion into the African markets, one strategy in one country may not work. We need multifaceted strategies. Yeah. So the first thing I would do is to look at the aspects to do with market intelligence. Every country has its own unique sets of challenges, unique sets of approvals required, has its own also capability in terms of how much oncology medication or antibiotics they can take. So having a clear market intelligence for me would be critical, and I would do this, of course, by my own relationships and the links, but also the local distributor, the local customer. That's an important person here in bringing the right market intelligence into the African market. I would also add that because we are looking for long-term success, regulatory compliance would be key. We want to do registered business. We want to have marketing authorizations in these countries with distributors that will last for decades, that will last for the long haul, not just short term. So having part of my strategy again would be to register these products into each market and to also have active market authorizations every quarter, let's say, so that we can have partners who are competitive enough to win and to be able to make sure that the market wins. And I would say a lot of strategic partnerships would be crucial as well. Picking the right distributor here, the right customer, would be among the most important things, because we are looking for a customer who is very strong in their distribution networks, a customer who is also, let me say, like-minded, sort of like Venus in the way we carry ourselves, quality and innovation. Those customers who have quality systems and would want to work with us, those customers who are interested in improving the lives of the patients, those are the kind of people that would want. So strategic partnerships, like I mentioned, would be crucial in my expansion into the African markets. Thank you.
Thank you for answering that. Okay, so what are your long-term plans for Venus, and how do you plan to expand Venus's business?
Okay, So besides the strategic partnerships, I would want, when I'm looking at it in terms of marketing authorizations, I would want clear active marketing authorizations in every market. Let me say in the next 5 to 10 years, we should have a footprint in at least 50% of the sub-Saharan African countries, and we should have a strong distribution networks, a network where we have customers who are close to Venus. As part of our culture, we're working closely towards from customer satisfaction to customer delight, and I would want to have a good number of customers who believe in our vision, who we have worked with in this journey, so that we can make a business together and ultimately support the patients. And I would also add that my vision, again, to have great relationships with the regulators across the different markets. We already have 4 GMP approvals as it is, and globally. So we are a strong brand, we're a powerhouse in terms of innovation and quality. But in addition to that, I would want us to have good relationships with the regulators, because we are also developing newer molecules. I talk about Elores, for example, and we are at the forefront of fighting antimicrobial resistance. So having strong relationships with the regulators as well would be important to us. And I would say I'm also looking at having Venus in Africa as a center also for market intelligence. We'd want to understand what's happening in markets across different countries, and how we can support healthcare professionals, for example, to bring in the right kinds of treatment, just to shift the paradigm around treatment, because as it is, drugs are being developed every day, and we want to bring the right treatment into the hands of these patients. That's what I would say.
Oh, okay. So, I just want to add one more question. So, is it your first time visit to India?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, how is it going? Did you visit any place? Would you like to mention something about that?
All right. Well, thank you. First of all, let me say that it was a great experience being in India for the very first time. I've heard just from people, from friends and relatives who've been to this country, and I would say it's a beautiful country with beautiful people and a lot of diverse nature. There's a lot of aspects of India that are close to Africa, and of course, coming from East Africa, India has exported a lot of culture. The population of people from India of Indian heritage is quite a lot, so I'm used to that. But I've really enjoyed being in the country, especially in this part of the world, which is Chandigarh, and it's been a good experience. I was able to visit certain places. I went to, I believe it's like Sukna Lake. Yeah, Sukna Lake, and just to walk and enjoy the great environment there as well, and to visit the local markets and to tour the various malls, just to walk around and see the people and the infrastructure. I like the culture.
Did you try any dish as well?
Yes, I did. There's a lot of really, really nice, let me say, roti. And it's close to chapati, which we have in East Africa. So I really enjoyed that. And there's a lot of nice chicken as well. So a really beautiful culture, I would say. And let me also add that there's a good culture around kindness and respect that I have seen. To greet people. It's very common. It's very regular. People are so usually very happy just to interact, and that's something I'm taking away with as well. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Abednego, for sparing out some time from your busy schedule. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.